Hello fellow adventurers, Ryan here from D&D Awakening. Join us on our travels today with a new D&D story. Before we begin, why not subscribe for daily D&D content, and please feel free to show the channel some additional love and support if you find yourself enjoying the video by hitting that like button, and maybe leaving a comment below. This small gesture really helps us to reach more people and grow our community. Thank you for your support, and on to the adventure. Playing a pure evil character that solves homelessness, reduced crime and saves the children? The system was Pathfinder, also known as D&D 3.75, and the campaign was Curse of the Crimson Throne, or at least that's how it started. The DM was extremely grimdark and wanted to run a Hell Knight campaign. If you're not familiar, Hell Knights are usually lawful evil, with an extreme emphasis on law, and will torture lawbreakers. They're usually left alone by local governments, partly because they fight crime so well, and partly because they're a large group of heavily armed and armored soldiers who don't usually cause problems, but will fight you with religious fervor if you get in their way. My character was angelically beautiful, Aasimar, with a wholesome name, a short stature, 5 feet 0 inches, an angelic face, and cold, cruel eyes. She could be sweet, but she was, in reality, a manipulative, murderous monster. The DM wanted us to be evil, and I can't imagine anything more evil than a fascist. Not only that, but she was also a psychic, which is an intelligence-based, full spellcaster class, which can read minds and manipulate people if they had a high charisma score, which my character did. So, she was very good at being a fascist. The first part of the campaign involves taking down a local criminal who's been recruiting street kids to use as pickpockets. This usually involves a younger sibling or friend as a hostage. He's a very bad man, and we took him down and acquired his dilapidated building as a base. After this mission, we had a ton of homeless children and an empty building to deal with. So I set up an orphanage that was secretly a fascist youth cult. Since I was a Hell Knight, I called them my Hell Scouts. That's a cute name, you might say. It reminds me of the Cub Scouts. Yes, that's the point, according to my character's twisted design. Perhaps you think I did this in a cartoonishly evil way. No, I went a little darker than that. Nothing about it was cute. In fact, even though my fellow players were also playing evil characters such as serial killers, they didn't look at me the same after this. I took inspiration from the 2008 movie, The Wave. I used real-life examples of brainwashing tactics that are so effective, they work whether the victim is aware of them or not. Part of why this is so disturbing is because I took brainwashing tactics from groups like the Hitler Youth and fringe religious cults in the US, awful things that happen in real life. Things that can turn your adult sibling into someone you barely know. Starting with the pickpockets I had rescued, I exclusively recruited desperate, homeless children, promising them a safe, comfortable cot and regular meals. And once they were in, they were mine. First, I completely cut them off from the outside world. The only human connection they were allowed to have was with myself, my fellow evil party members, or their fellow scouts. I made them wear matching uniforms complete with leather armor and clubs, march and exercise together, learn squad tactics together, stand at attention for hours together, eat, sleep and hang out together, train with weapons and spar together, literally every minute of every day. Punishment was severe. If the transgression was the result of good or chaotic aligned actions, such as mercy or disobedience, I punished everyone else in the group with intense exercise while the transgressor was made to stand in front of them and watch. This way, not only did the rest of them get someone to bully as an outlet for their frustration, they were also conditioned to police each other's actions, tattling was anonymous and encouraged, discipline each other, and not tolerate chaos or good. I even had an unguarded cookie jar, specifically to tempt any child who isn't obsessively devoted to obedience. Don't forget, I was playing a mind reader. For lesser offenses, the transgressor would be physically beaten by their own squad leaders in front of the rest of their peers. More severe punishments weren't even physical, they were psychological. The offender was made to sit in a chair in the center of the room while their peers took turns berated them for hours. Imagine going through that as a 9-year-old. Real cults do this, and even once can make grown adults have a nervous breakdown. Afterwards, when their punishment was complete, all was forgiven, and I made the rest of them congratulate and praise the punished for their physical and mental endurance, solidifying the group bond. Once, when a child openly rebelled against my character in front of the rest, my character straight up killed the child with a single spell. Psychics get a spell called Mind Thrust, which is a powerful, single target damage spell, and my character didn't have to lift a finger or say a single word to cast it. Her eyes just glowed, and the child screamed and died on the spot in front of all the other recruits. It was the first and last instance of open rebellion. Thus I made them disciplined, viciously violent, and obsessively loyal to the group. After a couple weeks, not only did they police each other's behavior, they blindly followed any order I gave. They developed their own culture, inside jokes, expressions, and mannerisms. Bullies and prodigies were promoted, and given a dagger, and later studded leather armor, as a symbol of rank. They were trained to take extreme pain without flinching, how to work as a cohesive team, and how to kill efficiently. They were soldiers, and they were mine. Even a single eyebrow twitch from my character could make them sweat bullets. After a while, the whole thing became completely self-running. Leaders were sent out with teams to recruit more desperate, homeless children, promising them a safe, comfortable cot and regular meals. The city was happy because child homelessness was drastically reduced, crime was falling, and the recruits would be assigned occasional projects to improve neighborhoods. The Hell Knights were happy, because they had a steady stream of perfect recruits. Sometimes they were sent out to patrol, or even track down and kill known criminals. Imagine a career thief getting beaten to death by 20 children with clubs. They were young, but they were trained in weapons and armor, with a functional knowledge of squad tactics, extreme loyalty, and lawful evil alignments. They were my very own army of child soldiers, like the Hitler Youth on crack, always polite and always recruiting, never breaking rules or causing trouble. And the best part was I was literally solving homelessness, reducing crime, improving the city, and saving the lives of hundreds of children. It was the most fun I've ever had as an evil character. The best part, though, was I did this all as a level 1 character. Feel free to use my story as inspiration for your own villain. I don't care either way. So, what do you think of today's adventure? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So, if you enjoyed the video, please show your support by hitting that like button and maybe watching another story on screen now. And until our next journey, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.